So in this video, I'm going to show you why you need to master sales as a financial advisor or a tax and estate planner. If you're running paid traffic, but you're not getting the conversion rate that you want, this video will be a game changer. But also if you think about starting, paid traffic campaigns or marketing campaigns, and you just want to prepare for that, then this video is also for you, right? Like this is basically for everybody who has a consistent flow of clients that are not referrals. Because at the end of the day, most of you are running referral-based campaigns, and a referral is very easy to close. You can put a basically Walmart cashier in front and they will probably close your referrals, right? Because it's already pre-sold, right? And those are good leads, and I don't want you to stop with referrals, but this is how you actually approach a cold traffic marketing campaign. So while I sell marketing services, I have to stress that sales is equally as important. I don't want to say more important, because without marketing, you don't have the opportunity to sell, but sales is 100% super important, right? These two can work wonderfully together, but they can clash if the relationship is not right. If sales and marketing are not seeing eye to eye, right? Like this is going to be a problem. So let me just introduce the scene why this is so important. So of the, I think like wealthiest people on the planet, a lot of them started out in direct sales. I read a lot of famous biographies from founders, right? And most of them started their career often in direct sales. Warren Buffett, Sarah Blakely, George Soros, Ray Kroc, Howard Schultz, Sam Walton, and the list goes on. I think Bill Gates, right? Like most of the people that we know from like billionaire, they know how to sell. And selling doesn't only mean convincing people to buy your product, it also means convincing people to invest in your product. Also maybe, to become your spouse. So there's a lot of, applications to selling. But let's face it that of the people who made the most money on this planet, almost all of them started in sales. And you can think of these people whatever you want. The proof is that they just, made a lot of money. Convincing somebody to buy your product, to invest with you, is the foundation of every business. Without a convincing sales argument, you're not going to have a business. Right? Marketing is nothing else but sales in a written or video form, right? Or image form, right? This is the same concept. But if you sell something that is worth several hundreds or several thousands of dollars, you will probably most likely have a one-to-one conversation with them, and you need to convince that person to give you money for your service or product, right? If you if you're selling shoes or, like some little product, you can get away with just written or video or image sales. But if you have a service, you're going to need this. So too many advisors and planners, estate planners, tax planners, financial advisors neglect sales. You guys think you don't need to become good at sales. And a lot of you are getting then killed on the advertising campaigns. I've spoken to so many people who say like, yeah, I have leads, but I can't convert them. This is because you're used to referrals. You're used to pre-sold people, and that's not going to be the same concept here. A lot of people also perceive the sales to be something negative and uncomfortable, and this can be true, right? Like if you're not used to selling, if you're not good at selling, it can be negative and uncomfortable, but you cannot neglect it. This is the point of this video. So now I hopefully convinced you that you need to get better at sales, right? So here's a couple of things that you can do. And full disclaimer, I don't sell any sales content. I sell marketing content, but I want the people that I work with or just general people to be able to sell more stuff. Because a lot of times people like me are not at fault that your campaigns are not working. It's you who can't convert the leads, and you want to neglect that you want to eliminate that possibility, and then you can make a lot of money. So what you can do to get better at sales? First of all, you need to learn about your customer. You need to, understand them on a deeper level. You need to know what makes them tick. You need to know their pain points, their dreams and aspirations, everything that is to know. This will help you in a sales conversation. If you just not paying attention, if you're just kind of like talking and not listening, you will fail at sales. Good practice here is to record and analyze your sales call. I use an app called fireflies.ai. So let's quickly go for fireflies.ai. That's the That's the app that we use that I use myself and that a lot of people that I work with use. It's a genius thing. You can have it for free, right? I'm not sponsoring it or anything. This is just a good app. And you want to record this automatically. And then you can transcribe your sales calls and you can have AI analyze your sales calls. I've made a video about this. We're going to link this above, so you can check that out. Now, second thing you need to do is learn and practice sales every day, right? Like you need to get better at this. You need to practice. That means there's an infinite amount of content on YouTube about learning how to sell. I'm not a master at it by any stretch of imagination, but I know how to make my campaigns convert, right? And that's important. I personally like people like Jeremy Miner, Matthew Ryder, Jordan Stupar. Some of them are lesser known. Some of them are better known. Jeremy Miner is clearly known. There's a ton of guys out there teaching sales. I think there's a lot of people also not that great, but it doesn't matter. The sheer fact of watching 3 to 5 videos every day will make you better, especially if you start from like, hey, I have zero experience at online sales. You need to watch some content. You need to read. You need to practice this. You can go with somebody you know, right? Like you can practice with your spouse or, a friend. I think, like the best way to practice is get some ads running and see it as an investment in your skills, right? Like be ready to lose a couple grand to just practice on your skills. Because at the end of the day, like what is a couple grand? That's, another thing you can invest in is a good sales program. There's also going to be some practice in there, right? You want to probably do both. If you already have generating cash flow, most of those programs are not cheap, right? I've probably, paid upwards of $50,000 to, acquire sales knowledge. But, at the end of the day, it's going to come back multiple times and it's skills that you learn for life. I would highly suggest investing in sales program of one of the guys that I mentioned. So again, that's Jeremy Miner, Matthew Ryder, and Jordan Stupar. I think those are good, but you need to get some mentoring, right? I think this is important. But be aware of a lot of trash people out there. I'm not going to name any names. I would just suggest you read the reviews of the programs, right? You inform yourself, you make an educated decision, and you buy a program, right? The investing in a program will also give you feedback and accountability. And again, a disclaimer, I do not sell any sales program, right? I don't have anything to sell here except my marketing services. And those are only going to be relevant to people who can actually sell, right? Because then you can take full advantage of this. You need to create content that aids the sales process as well, right? Like I'm starting to crank out a lot of these videos. Those are not perfect YouTube videos. These videos are not going to appeal to anybody who's not interested in growing their financial advisory, tax planning, and estate planning business, right? Like this is for you. But you see, these videos are not fancy. And I made another video about how you can create these types of videos, how you can make them fast, but also good. And I also made a video about sales assets, right? Like sales assets are videos, but you have to think about it in a specific way. I'm going to link all of these videos above and in the show notes so you can access them, watch them, please, right? You need to create valuable content that you can send to your customers prior to your sales call, right? Like the more information you can send them, the more they can actually listen to you and connect with you before the call. The more they're going to know you, the more they're going to know if this program, if this service that you're selling is actually for them. And it's going to do a lot of the selling. You have to think about it. Every video, every guide, every PDF, every asset you create is basically a 24/7 salesman, because the internet doesn't sleep. The YouTube video doesn't sleep. This video is online whether I'm online or not. It's selling on your behalf. And last but not least, you can play around with offers and pricing, right? Like a great offer is going to do a lot of the selling. I recently talked to somebody who's doing almost 8 figures. And in my opinion, their sales process is absolute, trash. But they basically save people, all of their taxes and without them having to move. And that's just a great offer, right? Like if you're going to save me, $100,000, $500,000 a year in taxes, then, yeah, sure, I'm going to pay for that. there's just no way I'm not going to pay for that. And especially they have a very unique offer. They have some good marketing. But if you're not converting at a rate that you want, right? If you have a comparable offer, I've talked about offers before, check out my other videos, but you need to consider offer and your pricing, right? Like, are you providing enough value at the price that you are charging for, right? Like, if you do the same shit as everybody else, don't expect different results, right? Like, you're just gonna swim in a sea of mediocrity, right? Like, especially if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have content, if you don't have anything that you stick out on, you're going to struggle with just really converting at a high rate, and you're going to go for like an industry average return. You're going to get like a couple, 2 times, 3 times your money, which is still not bad, but you're going to struggle to get more. Is your offer unique enough, right? Like, are you actually providing enough value in a unique way? And is the value you provide priced at a fair price? I think always if you charge around 10% of the value that you provide, this is going to be a more than enough fair price. Like, anybody who's not willing to invest into 10 times their money is just stupid. That's how I charge my services, right? Like, so we charge, about $3,000 a month right now, and we deliver $50,000 in extra revenue, right? Like, if you're not, willing to do that gamble, if you have the budget and if you have, like the time frame that it takes to implement this, this is just not somebody you want to work with. And the same for you, right? Like, if you do an investment and you kind of like, 10x their money, or, like achieve above average returns, if you're saving, above average in taxes, this is priced fairly, right? Last but not least, this is important. You cannot effectively outsource sales if you don't know what you're doing. If you suck at sales, you will hire people who suck at sales. A lot of advisors get smart and think they can just outsource the sales process to somebody else. But if you haven't cracked the code for your offer and your target audience, the messaging and what they need to hear, and the script and the framework that they need to use, you won't know how to help a salesperson that is not performing. You won't know how to hire a salesperson that is good. You will not know what you are actually looking for, right? You will just hire a trash salesperson and you will burn a lot of money, and you will say, oh, this doesn't work, ads don't work, marketing doesn't work, I've tried this, it doesn't work. You need to become good at sales so you can hire good salespeople, so you can build your business and, make a lot of money on advertising and just overall live a happier life. This is the gist of this video. This is what you can do. If you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next video.